Did you know that among the familiar herbs around the house, there are some plants that not only make your living space more beautiful, but may also help support a healthy lifestyle for blood sugar? They are not medicine, and they cannot replace medical treatment or a doctor's advice. But when used properly, these herbs can help make your everyday meals and drinks feel more natural, gentle, and balanced. Some of them can be used fresh in cooking, helping to add flavor without needing too much sugar, salt, or processed sauces. Others can be dried and used to make unsweetened tea, becoming a simpler choice instead of soda or high-calorie drinks. The important thing is not to look for a miracle plant, but to build small yet sustainable habits every day. In today's video, we will explore 8 easy-to-grow herbs around the home that may support healthy blood sugar and help you take care of your body in a more natural way. If you enjoy gentle content about plants, herbal teas, and natural healthcare, please subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey together. 1. Cherry blossoms. Cherry blossoms are often seen as a symbol of spring, gentleness, and delicate beauty. But besides their decorative value, cherry blossoms can also be used as a natural ingredient for making tea, especially when they are harvested from clean, pesticide-free trees and prepared properly. This is not a miracle cure for blood sugar, but it can contribute to a healthy lifestyle in a very gentle way by helping us replace sugary drinks with a light, fragrant floral tea that feels closer to nature. What is interesting about cherry blossoms is the sense of relaxation they bring. A cup of unsweetened cherry blossom tea in the morning or late afternoon can help the body slow down a little, reducing the urge to reach for cakes, soda, or high-calorie snacks. For people who want to maintain healthy blood sugar, small changes like this can sometimes be very important, because blood sugar is not only related to one single food, but also to overall daily habits. If you have a cherry tree around your home, you can pick the flowers when they have just bloomed. Rinse them gently, let them drain, and then dry them in the sun or dehydrate them at a low temperature until they are completely dry. After that, store them in an airtight glass jar. Keep it in a cool, dry place, and avoid direct sunlight. When using them, simply take a small amount of dried flowers and steep them in hot water for a few minutes to make a light, delicate tea with a very subtle fragrance. However, it is important to note that you should not pick flowers from trees growing along roadsides, trees that have been sprayed with chemicals, or trees with an unclear source. And if viewers are taking diabetes medication, blood pressure medication, heart medication, or have an underlying health condition, they should consult a doctor before using any herbal tea regularly. Cherry blossoms are best viewed as a small part of a balanced lifestyle, not as a treatment for disease. 2. Roses. Roses are not only flowers that symbolize beauty, love, and gentleness, but they are also a very familiar ingredient in many herbal teas. Clean, pesticide-free rose petals, when dried properly, can create a tea with a light fragrance, a delicate taste, and a very relaxing feeling. For people who are concerned about blood sugar, roses should not be seen as medicine, but they can become a natural drink option that helps partly replace soda, milk tea, or other sugary drinks during the day. The nice thing about rose tea is that it brings a sense of sweetness through its aroma, without needing any added sugar. When you brew a warm cup of rose tea, the gentle fragrance of the petals can help the drinker feel more comfortable, slow down a little, and crave overly sweet snacks less. For a lifestyle that supports healthy blood sugar, small changes like this are very valuable, because they help us build gentle but more sustainable habits. If you grow roses at home, you can choose flowers that have just bloomed, with fresh petals, no pests or disease, and, most importantly, no chemical sprays. Then, separate the petals. Rinse them very gently if needed. Let them drain, and spread them out thinly in a cool, airy place, away from harsh direct sunlight. When the petals have dried until crisp, store them in a clean glass jar. Seal it tightly, and keep it in a dry place. Each time you use them, simply take a small amount of dried rose petals and steep them in hot water for a few minutes, and you will have a lightly fragrant tea that is perfect for a quiet morning or a relaxing evening. However, you should not use roses bought from flower shops to make tea, because these flowers are often treated with preservatives or chemicals. Rose tea should only be a small part of a body care routine, combined with balanced eating, gentle movement, and regular health monitoring. 3. Apple blossoms. Apple blossoms are one of the most beautiful images of spring. When tree branches begin to be covered with soft white and pink flowers, for many people, apple trees are remembered mainly for their fruit. But in fact, apple blossoms can also be used as a gentle ingredient for making tea. As long as the flowers are harvested from clean, pesticide-free trees and prepared carefully, this is not a medicine for blood sugar, but it can help create a healthier drinking habit, especially when used to replace sugary drinks during the day. The interesting thing about apple blossoms is their very mild fragrance, which is not as strong as some other flowers. When dried and steeped in hot water, apple blossoms can create a light, delicate tea that feels close to the home garden. For people who want to maintain healthy blood sugar, a cup of unsweetened floral tea like this can be a better choice than soda, bottled tea, or other high-calorie drinks. It does not work in a strong or immediate way, but it helps build a small habit, drinking in a simpler, more natural, and lower sugar way. If you have an apple tree around your home, you can pick a small amount of flowers when they have just bloomed, while the petals are still fresh and not bruised. After that, gently shake off any dust. Rinse them quickly if needed, and let them drain completely. When drying them, you should spread the flowers out in a thin layer in a well-ventilated place, away from harsh, direct sunlight, to help keep their natural color and fragrance. Once the flowers are fully dry, store them in an airtight glass jar and keep it in a cool, dry place away from light. However, you should not pick flowers from apple trees growing along roadsides, trees in areas that may have been sprayed with chemicals, or trees with an unclear source. And apple blossom tea should not be seen as a way to treat disease. It is best used as a small part of a balanced lifestyle, eating in moderation, reducing refined sugar, moving gently, and taking care of the body every day. 4. Saffron. Saffron, also known as the stigma of the saffron crocus, is one of the most special ingredients for making tea, because just a very small amount is enough to give a cup of tea a warm golden color, a light fragrance, and a sense of elegance. Unlike many herbs that use leaves or flower petals, saffron comes from the thin stigmas of the saffron crocus flower. Because the harvesting process requires so much effort, this herb is usually quite expensive. Even so, when used properly, it can become an interesting choice in a daily routine of drinking unsweetened tea. For people who are concerned about blood sugar, saffron should not be seen as a medicine or a treatment for disease, but a warm cup of saffron tea with no added sugar can help replace sweet drinks, milk tea, or high-calorie bottled beverages. The light aroma and beautiful color of saffron can also help the drinker feel more relaxed, making it easier to maintain a healthy habit without feeling too restricted. If you want to grow it around the house, saffron crocus can be grown from bulbs in pots or in well-drained garden soil. The plant prefers sunny areas, soil that does not stay waterlogged, and it usually blooms in the fall. When the flowers bloom, the red stigmas inside can be gently picked out, then dried or dehydrated in a dry, airy place until completely dry. Because each flower only produces a few tiny strands of saffron, harvesting saffron requires patience. But that is also what makes it so valuable. When making tea, you only need to use a few saffron threads and steep them in warm water for a few minutes. You should not use too much, because saffron has strong active properties and is not suitable for everyone. Pregnant women, people taking medication for underlying health conditions, blood pressure medication, diabetes medication, or blood thinners should consult a doctor before using it regularly. Saffron is best seen as a small highlight in a balanced lifestyle, not as a magical solution for health. If you're still watching at this point, you're probably someone who also loves the simple things that come from a small garden. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can explore more interesting plants together. 5. Grape leaves. Grape leaves are often best known in Mediterranean dishes, especially stuffed rolls made with rice, vegetables, or meat. But besides being used in cooking, young grape leaves can also be harvested, cleaned, and dried to make a light tea. This is a pretty interesting option for anyone who has grapevines around the house, because instead of only waiting for the fruiting season, we can also make use of the leaves as a natural ingredient in a routine of drinking unsweetened tea. For people who are concerned about blood sugar, grape leaves should not be seen as a medicine or a treatment for disease. However, A cup of dried grape leaf tea with no added sugar can be a better choice than soda, bottled tea, or other high-calorie drinks. The tea usually has a light, slightly green taste, with a rustic feeling that feels close to the home garden. When we are able to maintain the habit of drinking simple teas like this, cutting back on sweet drinks during the day also becomes easier. If you grow grapes around your home, you should choose leaves that are still moderately young, not too old, free from pests or disease, and especially not sprayed with chemicals. After harvesting, you can gently rinse each leaf. Let it drain completely, and then spread the leaves out in a thin layer in a clean, airy place, away from harsh sunlight. Once the leaves have dried until crisp, store them in an airtight glass jar. Keep it in a cool, dry place, and avoid direct sunlight. When making tea, simply take a small amount of dried grape leaves and steep them in hot water for a few minutes, and it can be used as a light everyday tea. One thing to keep in mind is that you should not pick grape leaves from commercial vineyards, roadsides, or places where it is unclear whether pesticides have been used. If viewers are taking diabetes medication, blood pressure medication, heart medication, or have an underlying health condition, they should also consult a doctor before drinking herbal tea regularly. Grape leaves are best seen as a small part of a balanced lifestyle, eating more naturally, reducing sweet drinks, and taking care of the body through gentle daily habits. 6. Cornflower. Cornflower, also known as blue bottle, is a small flower with a beautiful bluish-purple color, often seen in cottage-style gardens or natural flower gardens. What makes cornflower special is that its petals can be dried to make tea or blended with other herbal teas, creating a very eye-catching color. If there are a few cornflower plants blooming in the garden, just watching the soft blue petals moving gently in the wind can already bring a very peaceful feeling. For people who are concerned about blood sugar, cornflower should not be seen as a medicine or a treatment for disease. Its value lies in helping us build a healthier drinking habit, instead of choosing soda, bottled tea, or other sugary drinks. A cup of unsweetened cornflower tea can be a gentle, low-calorie option that feels closer to nature. Sometimes, the beautiful color and light, delicate taste of floral tea can help the drinker feel more comfortable, which may reduce the urge to reach for sweets. Cornflower is also quite suitable for people who enjoy making dried tea at home. When the flowers bloom, you can pick fresh, clean flowers that are free from pests or disease and, most importantly, have not been sprayed with chemicals. Then, separate the petals, spread them thinly on a clean tray, and dry them in a well-ventilated place, away from harsh direct sunlight, to help preserve their natural bluish-purple color. Once the petals are completely dry, store them in an airtight glass jar and keep it in a dry place away from light. When making tea, cornflower usually does not need to be used in large amounts. You can use a small amount on its own, or blend it with rose, chrysanthemum, dried lemon peel, or mint to create a more lightly fragrant cup of tea. However, people who are prone to allergies to flowers in the daisy family should use it with caution. Cornflower is best seen as a small part of a balanced lifestyle, drinking less sugar, staying closer to nature, and taking care of the body more slowly and gently each day. 7. Spruce tips. Spruce tips are the soft young shoots that usually appear in spring on healthy spruce trees. When they first grow, they are bright green, softer than older needles, and have a very distinctive forest-like aroma, slightly sharp, slightly tart, and fresh, almost like lemon mixed with the scent of pine needles. This is a fairly interesting ingredient for making herbal tea, especially in cold or temperate climates, where spruce trees are often found in large yards, parks, forest edges, or natural areas. For people who are concerned about blood sugar, spruce tip tea should not be seen as medicine or a treatment for disease. Its value lies in creating a natural, unsweetened drink with a pleasant aroma that can help replace higher calorie choices such as soda, bottled tea, or ready-made drinks. A warm cup of spruce tip tea can bring a very relaxing feeling, especially on chilly days when the body needs something light but not too sweet. If you want to use spruce tips for tea, the most important thing is to identify the tree correctly. You should only harvest from clean spruce trees that have not been sprayed with chemicals, are not growing close to busy roads, and are not in areas where harvesting is prohibited. When harvesting, take only a small amount of young tips from different branches. And do not pick too much from the same tree so it can continue to grow healthily. After harvesting, you can rinse them gently, let them drain completely, and then dry them in an airy place or dehydrate them at a low temperature until they are fully dry. When making tea, you only need to use a small amount of dried spruce tips and steep them in hot water for a few minutes. The tea has a green, slightly tart taste and a clear forest aroma. However, you should not use it if you are not sure about the plant species, because some conifer trees may not be suitable for drinking. Pregnant women, people taking medication for underlying health conditions, or those with sensitive bodies should also consult a professional before using it regularly. Spruce tips are best seen as a gentle forest tea experience, helping a lower sugar lifestyle feel more natural and interesting. 8. Dried orange peel. Dried orange peel is a very familiar ingredient, easy to prepare, and especially suitable for anyone who wants to make herbal tea at home. Usually, when eating oranges, many people throw the peel away, but if you use clean oranges that have not been sprayed with chemicals and have been washed thoroughly, the peel can be sliced thinly, dried, and stored for making tea. Once dried, orange peel keeps its warm, lightly sweet, and slightly sharp aroma, which makes a cup of unsweetened tea much easier to enjoy. For people who are concerned about blood sugar, dried orange peel is not medicine and cannot replace medical treatment or a doctor's advice. However, it can support a healthy lifestyle in a very practical way by helping us create a naturally fragrant drink without needing to add sugar. Many times, cravings for sweet drinks do not come only from sweetness itself, but also from the habit of wanting to drink something with an appealing flavor. A warm, lightly fragrant cup of orange peel tea can help replace soda, bottled tea, or other high-calorie drinks during the day. Making dried orange peel is also quite simple. You should choose organic oranges or oranges with a clear source. Wash the outer peel thoroughly, and then peel off a thin layer of the orange skin. If you do not like bitterness, you can avoid taking too much of the white pith. Next, cut the peel into small strips or thin pieces. Spread them evenly on a clean tray, and dry them in a well-ventilated place, away from dust and harsh direct sunlight. Once the peel has dried until crisp, you can put it in an airtight glass jar. Keep it in a cool, dry place, and use it gradually. When making tea, simply take a small amount of dried orange peel and steep it in hot water for a few minutes. You can also blend it with rose, cornflower, grape leaves, cinnamon, or a few slices of dried ginger to create a warmer flavor. However, if viewers are taking medication for an underlying health condition or have a sensitive stomach, they should use it in moderation. Dried orange peel is best seen as a natural fragrant tea option that makes the journey of cutting back on sweet drinks feel more pleasant and sustainable. The most important thing is not to search for one special plant or some perfect recipe. Healthy blood sugar is built from small habits repeated every day, drinking fewer sweet beverages, eating in a more balanced way, moving gently, and listening to the body more. Natural herbal teas can be a beautiful part of that journey. A warm cup of unsweetened tea in the morning, a lightly fragrant pitcher of tea for the afternoon, or a few leaves and flower petals dried and stored in a glass jar. All of these remind us to slow down and take care of ourselves in a gentler way. However, always remember that herbs are not medicine and cannot replace a doctor's advice, especially if you are taking medication or have an underlying health condition. See them as a small support in your daily lifestyle. Combined with a healthy diet, good sleep, and regular movement, when small things are maintained over time, they can create a very valuable change for your health. If you found today's video helpful, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who also wants to live a healthier life through small daily habits.